So we're ready for the roll call.
Argentina, next to Australia, Ireland, India, delegate next to Australia, from Austria, that's Romania, from Austria, Captain Canada, people from Costa Rica, Captain Canada, Cyprus and Croatia, United States, Romania, Cyprus and Croatia, State of PSA, Czech Republic, SFP Denmark, IPSF Egypt, IPSF Qatar, IPSF Egypt, IPSF Finland, Texas, Estonia, IPSF Finland, France, IPSF Germany, IPSF Ghana, Elephant Ivory Coast, IPSF Ghana, IPSF Iran, Prison, KNX Republic of Korea, IPSF KNX Republic of Korea, IPSF Lebanon, IPSF Ultimate President, IPSF Malaysia, IPSF Indonesia, IPSF Malaysia, KNPSF Netherlands, IPSF Switzerland, KNPSF Netherlands, IPSF New Zealand, KNPSF Europe, IPSF Poland, IPSF Hungary, delegate to IPSF Poland, IPSF Portugal, IPSF Turkey, delegate to IPSF Portugal, IPSF Rwanda, IPSF Kenya, delegate to IPSF Rwanda, IPSF Serbia, IPSF Algeria, delegate to IPSF Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, Slovenia, SPSF Sudan, SNAP Sweden, that's the Tanzania, PSU to Thailand, and University of Singapore, delegate to PSU to Thailand, IPSF Tunisia, JPSA Jordan, delegate to IPSF Tunisia, IPSA United Kingdom, IPSA USA, and IPSA Zimbabwe. 48 community countries present and voting.
Okay. So I would like to have a proposer and seconder for using the standing orders next Australia, seconded by Ken Sweden. Anyone against resuming the standing orders? So we technical from Snap Sweden.
My answer to do we have more
More what?
like what's it called?
PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Actually, we so if you could share.
Slots.
Sorry?
Report table share.
It's okay, please. Okay. So, as I was saying, anyone against resuming the standing orders? Okay, so we are officially back in GA. Can you please read the Netherlands?
Dear KNPSF Netherlands, I would like to discuss the members' motion that is proposed on now, instead of later the agenda when members' motions are discussed. So,
Okay. Then I have GA's opinion on this. Would you like to discuss the motion proposed by KNPSF Netherlands? Okay. Give it just a second. So motion 70 proposed by IPSF the Netherlands and seconded by IPHASP USA reads this: the 62nd IPSF General Assembly amends the standing orders as follows to add 4.1.e 14, a motion to reconsider an election. If the motion to reconsider is passed, the original election shall be voted and revoted upon. For this motion to pass, a two-thirds majority is required. This motion shall be achieved immediately. Once achieved, this motion shall not be repeated. I would like to ask IPSF the Netherlands to provide more relation on this motion.
In the last 3 years, we sort of 2 times got an election that were wanted to be redebated on, as I synthesized the government. And as there's nothing in the official documents now, I would really like not to have the same problems as Porto, where the official documents were just not followed. I would like to add an extra procedural motion where you could start re-debating on and re-voting on an election. I chose to do a two-thirds majority because it's quite an important issue, and you don't want to kind of elect a decision of the GA made earlier. And so it shouldn't be too easy to do this. That's why we do third. This is because, yeah, you have to understand that this counts for someone that is not elected, but also someone that has been elected, and you want to de-elect, so that's why we do third.
Does the second part of the motion have something to add to this? No? Okay. So I would like to open the floor for discussion on this motion. So I have Councillor Canada.
It's Henry, Council Canada. I agree with this motion. I believe that something needs to be in the official documents that states how to deal with these types of situations when they do come up. And I think it's an important thing to keep in mind that it can be someone who was elected and then we choose to do real discussion to potentially not have been elected, and vice versa, someone who was not elected who we feel needs to be discussed again to potentially be elected. So it goes both ways to have in our official documents for future. Thank you.
Capsa Canada, I have now a part of clarification from Lucas.
Congratulations. As it says, shall be re-debated and re-voted upon. I'm not clear if, one, the speech will have to be made again, or if it will be only questions, or if it's going straight for a closed discussion. I'm not sure, like, how the process will be disseminated,
I think this
how it will be done in terms of the elections. Thank you.
Okay, these amendments, the way I read it right now would be just the date. It doesn't say that the election is redone. So the presentation does not have to occur again. It's just the debate and the voting. Another way, there is no way to consider a normal motion. And I almost copied the whole text, just added the sentence.
This one shows. Sean came in with this. This one is Sean.
EMUT, PSS Cyprus.
You had two. No, I only saw one, the big one that you did.
Close discussion.
Oh, okay.
No,
this one is Sean. He came in with it today.
CPS situation.
Nothing else, CPSA Croatia. I have to say that CPSA completely agrees on this. 2/3 is considerable number of votes, but it should be that way because the GAs have for 10 days, not more than that. And if something changes in these 10 days, it would be kind of embarrassing for our GA to vote on something and then in a couple of days vote for something else. That's why we are going to vote for this motion.
I have a point of clarification from Amy.
In our chambers and media publications, can you clarify what the procedure would be with regard to the fact that if an election has been processed and we had voted to reopen, and you want to reconsider once it's reopened, there are candidates who are already reopened? Peter, do you understand?
So I didn't really understand your question.
So, if an example is that you have a single candidate and the vote was taken to reopen, and you want to reconsider the vote on one where we chose to reopen. If we've already reopened elections and there are no candidates who applied, what happens to those candidates who have applied in the reopen?
Okay, these amendments, I don't really have a meaning of it, but the way I read it now, it just depends when this motion is proposed. So this procedural motion will be proposed. If it would be during the motion of the next one, of the second round, I think the other candidate would join in, I think. And before that, and while the call is open, just consider the election not that was in the first round. That's how I read it.
James.
White, Secretary General. Just a friendly suggestion for a minute. Instead of re-debated, just because of the meta language we're using on IPSF, I would ask for re-discussed. So don't know if we use the language re-debate or debate too much within our official documents. Is that in the motion as well?
Any other comments for Capsicum?
Cassandra Capsicana, Amy, I think that this is a motion that people are aware of, that we could do it, and there's a situation where it's very close in the decision-making process. I feel like this would probably fall right after the election that people are questioning. So we may not even have time to go to a second round. But if it does, I feel like, again, the election would be voted to reopen. But we're changing the decision on that. So my personal opinion is, it's that election at that time. Like that would be my understanding of this motion. We want to rediscuss the election of either that group of individuals or a single individual. So I'm not really sure if that needs to be further specified in this motion. I'm not sure.
Would you comment on it?
I was saying, my interpretation of this is would be related specific to the election of the person or the individual, not in a second round situation. So I'm not sure what we would do in that case if second round is already open. If it's re-elected someone new, then clearly that's it. But if it comes before the second round is closed, we can even say that it needs to happen before second round is closed. I'm not sure.
Would you comment on that, Casey?
So, I'll give again 2 minutes. I agree that with the point you made that this motion, sort of procedural motion, will be proposed quite soon after the election is done, so probably before the second round, second poll is opened. However, in this case, we have right now, the poll is open. I do not know if there's any reaction, but if there is, yeah, I think maybe we can just show inofficial voting or official voting, that's possible, to see what we can do and maybe have a both candidates for the second round. Would that be a possibility? Look at the motion to believe it's possible.
Call to the microphone, Luca from Motions Committee.
Luca, Motions Committee. We've been through the official documents on this many times, and we cannot find any material to substantiate either decision on this, and we are unsure how to proceed on this. However, probably, it would just be stating opinions right now.
And it's the Netherlands.
So, in the Netherlands, I think I know why this was brought up in the first place. That was because of the president-elect's position. Maybe if this motion could be carried, we, FGA, could propose another motion to allow Chris to be part of the second round. And that would be a way to deal with this, I think. So if we just propose a member motion to do that.
Motion cards.
On the lead way, I think we will.
Any further comments or questions? As I do not see Pepsi Canada.
So Cassandra Pepsi Canada, I think the issue is the way it's worded now, which is the way I would want it to be worded in the future, is if the motion to reconsider is passed, that is to reopen and re-vote on the one individual or the two individuals who ran at that time. So if you're to use the president-elect as the one for this, it would only be able to reopen and rediscuss Chris's nomination for president-elect. But the issue is that we're having now is that the second part has been opened and closed, and there may be new individuals running for the president-elect.
Yeah.
Hasn't been closed. Okay. So then my opinion would be if this is happened before it is closed, that it should be the single individual that is referring to, and if it is after it is closed, that this wouldn't be valid. So we can add in, for this motion to pass, it must be brought up before second round elections have closed and requires a 2/3 majority. Open? Okay, before second round is open.
Does the motions committee think that it be possible to add such an amendment?
I apologize, I was not listening.
So,
Can someone please clarify?
so the problem you're facing now is that the second call is opened.
Yeah, just the amendment.
The amendment to add that this motion must be closed before the second round is opened.
So if we made this amendment, then we wouldn't even be able to do this now. So are we able to amend this motion further, because we're brought up a member motion following this conclusion, just have to change the official documents at that moment?
I've got an idea. What if we do this now, and after we discuss this, you propose a motion to amend this standing motion? Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Max for Australia. So just double checking, as it reads now, if we were to reconsider the vote, even should it just not matter whether or not we reopen the second round? Would the second round, if we reopened, would we just count the second round as null and void until we've re-voted? Because technically the GA is the highest decision-making body in IPSF, so if we were to reopen the vote, we would count the second round nominations as null and void until the point where we had re-debated that position. If we re-debated that someone would get elected, they would get elected, and too bad for the people that had already applied second round. And if we didn't come to the decision that someone needed to be re-elected, and we came to the decision that it was to be reopened, then the nominations that were completed just would have to resubmit. Does that make sense to everyone? Because at the way I'm reading it at the moment, that would be fine whether or not you had already opened the second round or not. It just would mean that those second round nominations don't count for the time being until we come to a decision.
Can I have a microphone? Can please read the Netherlands?
Did retain these amendments? I see this in two possible ways. That either whenever this motion will be proposed after the second round is opened, then the second round just closes it, and anyone that applied to it get a message that, sorry man, there was a motion that proposed it, so now you can't do it anymore. I'm very much against that, because that gives a really unprofessional message. You open an official vote, official nomination round right now, sorry. So I'm very much against that. What you could do is, when the second round is opened, and this motion is proposed, that the proposer, the nominee of the first round could reapply. So that the second round would be, again, a presentation of the first one and the new ones.
So direct comment,
There is no direct comment. No direct comment. And I have a technical from Chris. I can add you on the list. Yeah?
have mixed feeling, please communicate correctly, and it's not a technical, but I think you need to re-look at your wording, because you're spinning in circles. Actually, with the current wording, you're just able to allow this already newly opened rounds candidate to rejoin in that debate, because you say you want to reopen on an election already taken place, which only makes the candidate of this election eligible, but you want to re-get the new ones again. So you can't say the old one joins in the second call, you only can say the ones of the second call join into the first one and the first one together, just about the wording. Because currently as it's written, you need to amend it in that way that the others of the new call rejoin. What we have been doing, for example, in EPSA Congress, Clarence Calvin for Katarina Nobre as treasurer.
I have James.
Right, so just as a point of information, technically, as soon as the election is voted to reopen, it is reopened and second vote is technically active. It's just the paperwork and the notice that vote doesn't go out until the time when it gets done. So technically, as soon as the call is reopened, that's the second nomination is active for that position. That makes sense. Keep that in mind when you're waiting.
Mr. Shad, so I agree with your first point. It is very unprofessional, and it doesn't give people a good, a good sort of idea of ideas that we're going to open a call and cancel the nominations. But at the same time, if we come to a decision and then we're going back on it, that's unprofessional anyway. Really, we should have stuck with our first decision. But if we think that it's wrong enough that we're going to fix it, then the other people should have to deal with that. But I didn't initially understand that you meant to add the second round participants with the old ones. I thought you just meant to rediscuss the first ones and have nothing to do with the second round ones. So I agree with Chris, you should clarify your wording.
Okay, I would like to pass the chair to Dale.
I pass the floor to Eduardo.
Eduardo, you become a member Portugal, so I would like to give some advice. So maybe you can amend this motion if someone agrees and state that Article 4.1.14 is not to be used for occasions when the second round nominations are open, and create the 4.1.e.15, saying that if second round nominations are open, you can propose a motion to reconsider a candidate. If someone agrees with that, thank you.
I pass the chair back to Eduardo.
Thank you, Dale. Clarification from APHASP, USA.
Hi, Joe, APHASP. I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? What I didn't understand.
I passed the chair to Dale.
I pass the floor to Eduardo.
Thank you, Eduardo, individual member Portugal. So what I'm saying is that we can amend this one that is already written to say that it's not possible to propose this motion when the second round nominations are opened, and create another one that can state that when second round nominations are open, we can propose a motion to reconsider the candidates from the previous election. Yeah?
Do we need more clarification on Eduardo's comment? I'll pass it back to Ambassador Utah.
I think that would work because, as James stated, exactly at the moment that the voting was done and revote would have been the option. That will be the the position is open for second round. So then we have to propose the motion before the actual result. You understand that? Okay, so.
Or you could alternatively, just as a suggestion, say the notification of the second round instead of the opening of the second round, if you wanted to be specific on that.
I think there will be a possibility that we accept the motion of the official communication by the email. So, I think it must.
Any other clarification needed from the Rodney's comments? Go ahead and pass the chair back to her.
Thank you. So I have CAPSA Canada.
Cassandra and Captain Canada, would we have to write the secondary motion right now to be voted on with this motion to be able to move forward with the other motion that Cypress would like to make?
Do we have to write this motion and another motion for the thing I said before?
Or would we just add that on to
We
the?
can add on this one. Any other comments or questions? Wording right now is a motion to reconsider an election. If the motion to reconsider is passed, the original elections shall be redebated and re-voted upon. For this motion to pass, a 2/3 majority is required.
This motion can only be proposed before the official call is set.
Yeah. And if you want to include the other one also. James?
James, Secretary General, I just would like to give a little bit of information that the time frame between the elections taking place and the notice venue can be extremely short, depending on who does it. I already have a file ready to be sent. And as soon as the elections are over, the only reason it wasn't to be taken to these problems. But so the fact that that means is a really long time to be processed.
IPSF.
It sounds like because the official call immediately goes out as soon as the vote is to reopen, that really this motion is a moot point because the way it's worded now. Is that correct?
As James said, you can leave it to interpretation, but if the second round nomination call is sent immediately after the election day, for example, you only have question of hours from the election until the end of the GA session and the nominations being open again. So that's what James is saying. I have Ken P.S. with the Netherlands followed by Pepsi.
I'm going back to the previous day. Maybe we can just rephrase this motion as the motion has to be proposed before closing of the second round, and the candidates nominated for the second round will join in another sort of debating first round.
Yes. So, just a point of clarification on that, then to make the motions.
They haven't voted.
Yes, if we go with that suggestion where second round candidates would be added to this, we would have to rephrase it because as it is, it only says that they'll be redebated and revoted upon. It doesn't have anything regarding presentations of second round candidates.
Cassandra, Council Canada, I agree with that, because right now it's saying reconsider an election, so this has already happened. If we're adding more people, it's not the same election, so I don't think that's a possibility. I think what we should have it voted as before the close of that respective GA session. Because if it goes out by that evening, we need to have it done in that time. And what I previously said, this is something that people are very concerned about. It's probably going to happen quickly. So for future, I think that should be the amendment that is made. For right now, I think we should vote on this as it stands to be able to reopen an election and people can vote yes or no on it, and we can work with the logistics later. Because right now, we need to get this passed and make amendments later to not roll up the GA.
Can you just read that?
I agree that I would really want to see this motion passed and someone else amended later on.
Any comments or questions?
Just the floor discussions.
And that's why I'm asking if there are any other comments or questions. Since there aren't any, I will close the floor for discussion on this motion, and we will vote on it. So, it reads, if the 62nd IPSF General Assembly amends the standing orders as follows to add 4.1.14, a motion to reconsider an election. If the motion to reconsider is passed, the original election shall be redebated and re-voted upon. For this motion to pass, a 2/3 majority is required. This motion shall be achieved immediately. Once achieved, this motion shall not be repeated. All those against this motion, please, technical from GPS again.
To the GPS, I thought Cassandra said we should add something to it. Thank you.
All those against this motion, please raise your voting cards up high. Any abstentions? Motion carried unanimously.
This is what I'm doing. This one here. Let's see. Today, shit starts at 8. You know what, but I don't normally go.
Okay, so now we have motion 42. This is the 62nd IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the chairperson of the 62nd IPSF World Meeting. For this motion, I would ask Ms. Michelle to come to the stage. Provide us with a brief speech.
Okay. Silly boy.
Afternoon. I'm just going to give an update.
Is she from Zimbabwe?
I'm just going to give an update from here to the report that you have. MIT, we had a total of 33 participants, 4 trainers. For the main Congress registration, we ended up with a total registration of 47 countries. 450 participants in total registered. This is excluding 14 reception committee and 12 IPSF executives, 1 parliamentarian, 1 IPSF member, and 1 FIPYPG representative. Of these, 255 participators. We had 15 confirmations, and of these, and then we also had 13 participants who cancelled without paying, that had promised to pay for the night. For the speakers, we ended up having 14 main speakers for the educational and the scientific symposium. We also had 7 workshop speakers, different from the symposium speakers. And the ratio of these speakers was 11 international and 3 locals. For the workshops, we had the PPAC at Mount Pleasant High School with 20 participants participating. The humanitarian campaign, Dani Antiviral Orphanage, represented with 3 orphanages, and they benefited from the campaign, plus 2 extras. Industrial visit of North American, 30 participants, pharmacy visits, 35 participants, sponsorship. The ones that are in the report did not change, we still have those, and most of them were services rendered to the Congress. In monetary value, we have a total of 10,000 as sponsorship. Post-Congress tour, as of now, number of participants is at 104, and it is still open till midday tomorrow. Thank you.
So I would like to open the floor for discussion. I have PPHAS USA followed by Dr.
Carla, PPHAS USA. Michelle, sorry, I think maybe you heard wrong on the registration value that you just gave. According to your report, it says 300 participants in total registered, 15 reception committee, 14 executives, 170 paid and 42 paying on arrival, and we quoted like roughly 25 translations. That is a total of 300, and then I think I just heard you say 400, but I think I heard you wrong. So can you clarify those numbers?
Okay, so the number that I just gave you is from day 1. What I've done in the EMT report, I have removed those people who had cancelled prior. So this is like for the main report from January till now.
Okay, I have the floor to followed by Captain Canada.
First of all, I want to congratulate for your report. I just want to make a comment. That is a comment not made just during this conference, but during the year. I thought that during the year, the connection and the information between cities and you were not led. Sometimes we had some delays in some answers. Sometimes we maintained some questions that were not answered. And I hope that this kind of events in the future can be improved and raised on these topics and could be better. I thought that the promotion for the World Congress was not the best too. I thought also that the expert could could have done something better on this case. But finally, I just want to comment this conference that it was much better than IPF Portugal expected. We want to congratulate you and your team for the World Congress. And I want to make a question. It's for the next year. What you think that should be improved on the next World Congress? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. No comment on the first one, nothing. And then recommendation, and thank you for the comments. Then for recommendations, like you said, communication, because what happens at times is that people work on assumptions. For example, if you post on Facebook, you put things on the website, you know things are there as a reception comment or maybe as a exec or so, but people will keep on asking questions. So to the next, to Taiwan, don't get tired of answering questions over and over again, communicating the same things over and over again, because that makes participants more comfortable and more informed. So that is one recommendation. And in terms of preparation, take note of everything from day one, because trust me, 2 years is not a lot of time for preparing for Congress. You will notice that some things are being changed each and every day, and you're planning for 2 years, but even during the conference, some things will always come up. So just know that 2 years is not a lot of time to take note of it.
Back to Canada, followed by Canada, the Netherlands.
Cassandra Cassiana, thank you so much for all the work that you've done in the last 2 years and here and the one before the World Congress. My question is around the post-Congress tour. I'm concerned that the registration has been open for so long, that it is still open and all participants are being added. How will this affect the costs for transportation, for hotels, for the events that we're going to? Because I feel that the more students you include, the longer lines will be, and it may deter from some of the experiences. So if you could just comment on that, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. So initially, when we start with registration, we put it at 60 for post-Congress tour, and that was raised that in 2 weeks. So why we had put it at 60 was that we thought people would not want to go for the PCT, so we put it at 60. Otherwise, from recommendation from our Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, they are the ones that are helping us with PCT. They say we can handle close to even 300. So we then bumped it up to 120. We have 2 buses that can fit 120 people. So we are at 104 right now, just opening up for people who want to. In terms of logistics, our hotels already have fully paid up for the 104. And we told them that there's a possibility for extension in level 5 for 6 people, and that is okay with them because they have the space. And in terms of the park fees, the meals, it's the same thing. The park fees we negotiated for a 50% cut, which again we communicated with them that we might have more people coming. So every event in terms of PCT can cover 120 people, and we have 100. So that is why it's still open for those who want to. But why I'm closing it at midday tomorrow, so that we just communicate the final number with the people working.
And this will be the Netherlands, followed by IPF Portugal.
Here again, as you announced, I would like to congratulate the RC, Michelle, on your amazing job. Every military's event was amazing so far. I think the conference was really well organized. Well, my question was just asked by Captain Canada, exactly the same question, and answered by you. So thank you for this amazing conference.
IPF Portugal.
I want to ask you regarding the topic of communication. What was the communication between you and the Exco, and if you have the help that you need for the schools?
So with the executive, the communication answer was good because for all the other portfolios, we had to break them down. For example, we were focusing on the speakers together with the symposium coordinators, public health campaign, public health coordinator. So we just broke up all the things into pieces and made sure that each person in the RC and each person in the executive is linked. And so, yeah, the communication was good. From my side, I think we know what we're doing and I know what we're doing with regards to conference studies.
That's Nigeria.
Which is like from Nigeria. So we understand that this going probably takes 4 times more than an session or a country, but as Apple, we wish to congratulate you for a well-done job and a successful conference. The first in Africa for the after 20 years working in Africa, it's not easy, and for a woman being the chairperson, taking this to a greater height. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Portugal.
Ivan, I want to ask, I don't know if you know Michelle, if someone from the Expo came here to Zimbabwe to see how the World Congress was prepared, because I think that it can be used in the future. Someone from the region or from the Expo to go to the venue and check if the conditions are enough to receive a World Congress.
Israel will have a clarification.
In order to reduce burden to the committee for organizing conference, we had a member of advisory board, Prosper Makosa, who was following it up closer, working with the executive committee, and they did a nice virtual site visit with cameras and phones, so we really understood what was going on the ground and trusted the member of advisory board who was who lives here in Ghana.
Any other comments or questions? Well, as I see no further comments or questions, I will close the floor for discussion and we will vote on this report. So, all those against the approval of the report of the chairperson of the 62nd IPSF World Congress, please raise your voting cards up high. Any abstentions? Approved unanimously. So we have a technical problem, we cannot access the budget that is in the Congress folder. So Michelle is going to get elsewhere. So just bear with us for a few minutes while we take care of the situation. Technical from IPSF Lebanon.
I take this opportunity to
delegate my vote to ADHA at ASPOSA since I have to catch a plane back home. So. And I want to say, guys, thank you, GA, Victor, for the amazing experience, and thanks for accepting my citizen membership. As I said to the people, your best year. I met a lot of people, my friends. This year, these friends turned into family. So thank you so much. So, Roland, I've been informed by the motions committee that you can delegate your vote, but after the roll call, you won't have it anymore. Okay. And have a nice trip back home.
We are queen. Why am I? Wait, take out Kosha. Why are you leaving? Just why boys? Like maybe his flight was today. And he has to rush into something. Because for most people, it's only in Zimbabwe Monday and Tuesday holiday. So after, okay, so if he leaves, then that means now they're like.
Okay, so I will pass the chair to James.
James has to like tell us. Oh, okay, now it makes sense. This thing keeps shutting down. I don't understand. Why? What goes on Michelle? I live like a first time. Really like his speech was not good. I don't know, like I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to her speech. But I was saying today was like my first seeing her. Yeah, she's oh my god. She's shucks. This thing Charles battery like mad.
So this is the income and expenditure of Congress. We had 2 packages of registration, sorry.
Technical from agriculture.
Could you, about agriculture, sorry, could you please share with us this report? I don't think it's
I would love to, but intent. I can't go and download it, but I want to if you want, you can go on USB and go around. That's what we have the option.
Technical from agriculture.
If agriculture, I want to ask why this report was not shared with us before.
That's not technical. Can you please read the amendment?
If not, I would like to propose a procedural motion to elect this motion to table for tomorrow, because at this moment I am not clear.
Okay, I have Annette Francis seconded. I will open the floor for discussion on this motion. Any comments or questions? As there aren't any, I will close the floor for discussion. Anyone against tabling this motion, please raise your voting cards up high. Okay, it's carried unanimously. This motion has been tabled. EPSC the Netherlands.
If you're getting these emails, please could you maybe both try and mail it to the participants. Thank you.
Okay. Agriculture.
If agriculture, I want to ask why this report was not sent to us before.
The reason why is the budget you have it, but the income and expenditure, we had to work on it because some of the things were still being paid, so we wanted to give you at least a much more closer representation of what's going to be there when we're actually done the conference. So it was just because of that.
So we will ask for a moment of your patience because we have to prepare the rest of the work we have to do. So just a few minutes, okay? People from IPSF USA.
Just as a please request for the GA, if you'd like to show motions, please use your motion cards. They're much more easy to recognize with fingers or so. Thank you.
Okay, since you already have the budget review, would you like to reopen the discussion on this motion right now? Or leave it for tomorrow? As proposed initially. Green or red, please, everyone. Green if you want to do it right now, red if you want to do it tomorrow.
At the time. Where they say you want to do it tomorrow.
Okay, since it's split, if someone that wants to discuss it right now could propose to proceed a motion to.
Can you pretend?
So can someone with the green card propose a procedural motion to reopen the discussion on the motion regarding the budget? I see IPSF Finland, seconded by VPHD Germany. I will now open the floor for discussion on this procedural motion. As I see no comments or questions, I will close the floor for discussion, and I would like to ask all of those voting against this motion to raise their voting cards up high. Voting against means that we will not reopen the discussion on this motion right now. All those for? Okay, thank you. So we will go back to the budget of the 62nd IPSF vote contest, since there were 39 votes for this motion and 9 against.
Can we pretend that everything like yesterday?
Anybody see? Can you see it? Can someone please tell me if they can see the budget? Okay. Better? Okay.
So we had total income of $112,679.20. This was from registrations. And of this income, 10,400 was from sponsors. On this for expenses, accommodation alone, this includes speakers as well, was $26,560. Meals, total of $55,175,000. Total expenses, meals, accommodation, and general expenses was $109,696.58. Of this, our budget has a surplus of $982.64.
Okay. So I will open the floor for discussion on the budget. I have KMPSV the Netherlands, followed by IPSF USA.
Peter KMPSV Netherlands. I was wondering the column G. What does that mean? Is it per person?
Going to the sun.
Which column?
In the spreadsheet. Sometimes certain number.
Okay, it's because.
Okay, thank you. And in that case,
IPSF USA, followed by France.
Carla, IPSF USA, thank you for this. It's quite detailed and self-explanatory. The only question we have is on the main budget page. Towards the bottom, you have participant shortfalls at $164. What does that mean?
Please repeat the question.
Towards the bottom of the main budget page, there is the blue column for general expenses. There's $164 for participant shortfall. We just want to know what a shortfall is.
Okay, so these are the fees that were short from the registration fee. Some participants unfortunately refused to pay this money to us, so we are covering that.
We have an enhanced followed by CPS separation.
Okay, France. I have a question about the meals. I see that 50% of the budget, so I have not a good knowledge of this big events, but my question is it a local provider or university provider for the events? It seems to be pretty expensive. Thank you.
You are referring to all the mentioned items under meals?
It's for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay. So the meals, all of them except for excursion day, are being provided by the university, and yes, we were paying. Each meal was costing $5. For the other two meals, the traditional dinner and the gala night dinner, those are the ones that are different. They were higher. The gala night dinner is $10, and the traditional dinner was $7. Those are the unit cost. For the teas were $3. Yeah, so that's the calculation. I wouldn't know if that's expensive, but yeah.
CPSA Croatia followed by IPF Croatia.
Martina, CPSA Croatia. I'm wondering about laptop and phone purchase on the sheet named Conference Printing Station. Can you elaborate what laptop and phone is that?
Okay, so we had to purchase one laptop for the Congress, only for use by Secretariat. This was the Treasurer and the Secretary, because the amount of work that had to be done, unfortunately both of them could not use their laptops, because their laptops are personal and some of them had to use laptops from work. So we wanted a laptop that was dedicated just for Congress staff. And then the phone, we were using that one for phone credit. We had to make sure that the phone credit that we used was coming from one phone, so we're just using that phone for that. And other transfers that require phones in Zimbabwe, we have what we call EcoCash. So instead of using personal phones and accounts, we were using a line for that phone under EcoCash. So that was the reason for purchase of that one phone.
IPF Portugal followed by an IPSF segment.
If IPF Portugal, I want to raise a question regarding to meals. Can you tell me yesterday's lunch, how much money do you allocate on that?
That was $5 as well. We were working with $5 for all our meals.
EMPSS Cyprus followed by KMPS Philippines.
Cyprus. I have a question about the water bottles. It says water 510 cases. The cost was $600. And I was wondering because in the first night when we went, there was no water. And the first morning we had to buy water. So what is that?
Okay, so the reason why we didn't have water the first day was because the water was delivered in the wrong place. So that is why we had to get it the next day. And the issue about people buying water, that was not our water. The water belongs to the university, and we had actually to ask them when we had that they were selling the water to stop selling the water because it wasn't ours. And then of those 510 cases, this water we had actually to cut down the amount of cases we had to buy because the ones we had bought were not even enough for the conference. So it means water for the first day was actually accounted for, but we had to remove the other cases we were supposed to buy later on.
KMPSV followed by KMPSV.
Did we get the I was wondering, I thought that the spreadsheet should also represent the euros. Just kidding. That's not true.
It's in dollars, and I think there's some motion that was asking that we could present our budget in the local currency. So, yeah.
Should I just ask my next question? This is so next question.
Angela came to the Netherlands. Since the registration fee is a round number, how come that the international participants isn't a round number? And how many participants?
Can you please repeat the question?
Since the registration fee is a round number, how come that the international participants income isn't a round number? And how many participants are there right now?
Okay, so the reason why it's not a round number is because of bank charges and transfers. The money sometimes is coming as a round figure. That's why we have refunds, that's why we have some of the money that we had to pay back and some of the money that we had to ask as participants to add on. And the total number of international participants, it's 191.
I cannot understand.
So international, we have 191. 14 reception committee, 12 IPSF executive, 1 parliamentarian, 1 EPSA member, 1 FIP, 1 PG representative, 50 local, and within those 50 locals, that's where they are helping committee.
Okay, so we have KMPSV, Netherlands, followed by Michael McIntyre.
UKPSV Netherlands. If margin calculation is 191 participants times 10 nights times $10 a night, gives $90,100 expenditure on accommodation and internationals. This says $22,320. How come there's a gap of $3,000 though?
Maybe I can ask my registration team to give me the number for international participants, because I wasn't actually so sure the number that I gave. And also we have some people that were paying for only 3 days. Yeah, we have WCCS, IPSA, and local participants that practice in committees were paying for 3 days as well, and we covered those $10.
I have a point of information from the motions committee.
Luca, motions committee, there is a motion on force from Porto, the 60th World Congress, which states, mandates the chairperson of the reception committee to display the budget and financial outcome amounts in the official currency of the federation. This motion shall be achieved continuously. This motion shall be reviewed by 61st General Assembly. So it should be in euro then as well.
Michael McIntyre.
I guess just as a point of information, in addition to my comment, for fun, $1 US is equal to 0.902 euros. That helps you guys, and we all know I love giving you that information. The only other comment I wanted to make was with regards to the participants refusing to pay the discrepancy in fees. I would suggest maybe withholding their certificates if they're refusing to pay that difference. It looks to be probably treatment from your budget. Just a suggestion.
So I have IPSF followed by KMPSU Netherlands.
In our motion, I want to clarify why the RC meetings spent 1,000 euros more dollars all at once. Can you clarify that, please?
Okay, so this was for meetings from the start, before the bid and up to the end. Some of our RC members, about 2/3 of the team, do not stay in Harare, so we had to transport them back and forth every 2 weeks for our meetings. And this was for meetings, including the food that was being taken during the meetings. Yeah, so that was the logistics for RC meetings.
I have KMPSV followed by KMPSV followed by KMPSV.
So, KMPSV, then I was wondering, in the promotional material, there is a AFPS promotional material line. I was wondering why this must go out of the budget of Congress and Assembly.
So, this was for promotion of the Congress, not for AFPS. So we had to print posters and stickers to send to AFPS.
Angela came with the Netherlands. What will happen to the laptop that was purchased for this Congress after the Congress?
Could you speak up, please?
Yeah, Angela came with the Netherlands. What will happen to the laptop that was purchased for this Congress after the Congress?
Okay, so the laptop, as a reception committee, we decided to leave it to the PNC.
May I make a suggestion to give it to the IPSF expert in their headquarters or something? It is attached to IPSF. I didn't know.
As according to official IPSF, instructing the budget of the reception committee, the budget of IPSF committee. And second.
Okay, so I have Capsi Canada followed by Agri Portugal.
Cassandra, Council Canada, would it be possible to request a version of the budget, not necessarily now because there's a lot of stuff going on, but shows your budgeted amount and your actual amount, so we can see that comparison, and then a bigger breakdown of actual number of participants, so we can see like the combination times X participants equals this, just so we can see a more transparent breakdown of the number of people next to the accommodating cost. Oh. Oh, is that new? Okay.
Okay, IPF Portugal followed by IPF Portugal.
I noticed that you've paid $70 for the photo shoot for the website, and I'm going to ask you why not allocate that money for a photographer during the work hours? Logistics, sorry.
Okay, so $70 is per hour for the, we're trying to use our phones for the website pictures, but they were not coming out well, so we had to allocate that. And for us, it was $70 per hour, so we had to get those pictures done in an hour. If we're going to get that photography for the Congress, that would be something else on the market. In terms of unit prices, $20 per hour. So, yeah.
Followed by KMPS with the Netherlands.
Before the World Congress, I didn't know that we had a hack during the World Congress. And some days ago, it was shared with us that we have a hack. I want to ask you if you think that it is necessary to have $490 for app development, and if the app was used or not by ODs or participants.
Okay, so the app, what you wanted to use it for mainly was workshop registration. And unfortunately, we only concluded on the actual program, like the final schedule, with workshops and speakers. On the 28th and the 29th, we're still actually adding speakers to the schedule. So for us, releasing the app would just meant using the speakers, the program, but the actual schedule would not be the actual presentation of what we speak. So that is why the app had to be released later on because of the schedule.
KMPSV followed by KMPSV with the Netherlands.
Peter Kennedy, I'm still not really happy with the fact that the laptop for the participants' money that comes from all of IPSF goes to a local social, national social, one of the members, I really would be happy if that laptop would go to IPSF, and that stated I would like to add other statements maybe. I'm really happy to see that at events. Glove accessories in the weekend. Woo! I think that's what's nice. I'm really looking forward to it. And if there are more on my way, the last on the list. So I just have statements. I will propose a motion after this is later, so I want to have questions.
Members Australia. Followed by KPS with amendment.
Just quickly, how much did the laptop cost you? Say it. And how old is the laptop? What do you think?
How old?
Yeah. Is it brand new laptop?
It's a brand new laptop.
Continuing obviously it's going to take it, give it a couple of years and if you had a break, get off fixing it for the local situation. If you're going to take it and have a separate laptop, give it a couple of years and give it a use if you had a break. So better off fixing it for the situation. Or that's one. Thank you.
KPS with the Netherlands followed by Capsule Canada.
European Union Netherlands as this budget, this financial document is in dollars and not euros, and I still can't see the amount of participants or refresh it again. I would suggest that we do all the questions everyone has, but do the voting of it when we have the next GA session, so if you have time to give a new financial document with euros, as it is stated in motion that we cannot accept it because it's not euros. So should I propose the procedural motion to lay the table right now, and so can we do the questions after that? Is that possible?
Can you roll on the speakers list again and let Capsule Canada ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. Capsule Canada followed by KPS with the Netherlands.
Since right now, by the look of this, you do have a surplus following this, if the money from the computer could just be used by someone else, I don't know if $182 when you have a surplus is necessarily the end of the world. My question though is the post-Congress tour included in this or no?
No.
Are we able to see a budget for the post-Congress tour as well?
Yes, you can send it through.
Okay, but we can table both the World Congress and the PCT, so I'd like to make a motion to table.
Actually, IPF is still on the list, so can we also wait for them? So, IPF Portugal?
Portugal, I just want to know the meaning of petty cash, because I don't get it. Petty cash.
Okay. So because of the current situation in Zimbabwe where we can't just go anytime and withdraw money, and the logistics needed to be done from the day of LIT to up to now, the treasurer had to give money to the reception committee to use for logistics. That came out during the COVID that wasn't used before. So this money has to be accounted for. A person puts money $100, they come back with receipts and retain the remaining money. So since we are still doing our budget in terms of income and expenditure, and we're still spending as of now, we'll have the actual fee on logistics when we're done.
Thank you. KPS with the Netherlands proposals of the motion.
Yeah, did you take these amendments? I would like to propose a suitable motion to lay this on the table so we can actually see a correct document where the amounts are presented in euros as well. We have a budget of the ACT and MIT, and where we see the amount of participants for example, accommodation, meals, and that kind of thing, and also the amount of, for example, accommodation, how many nights you want to calculate this ourselves.
Seconded by IPSF Portugal. I would like to open the floor for discussion on this motion. Can IPSF the Netherlands?
I believe I need to mention the time until when it's stated.
Not necessarily, but if you do, we can consider that.
I would really like to do it tomorrow first thing in the morning, but I don't know if the RC can update the whole document and distribute it before that. I think that's possible. Yes.
Tomorrow morning. Any other questions or comments? Since there aren't any, I will close the floor for discussion, and we will vote on this motion. So all those against, please raise your vote cards at that. So carried unanimously, so this motion has been tabled. Anyway, thank you, Michelle, for your answers, and a round of applause. Thomas, can you go check about the coffee break, please? EMPSS Cyprus?
Running EMPSS Cyprus. So I want to do a procedural motion that Netherlands made on revoting for a specific position of the executive committee.
Would you mind holding until the beginning of the next session, so we can go for a coffee break, and we will do that first thing?
When is the coffee break? Right now?
Yeah, right now, that's what I'm asking. Okay. SOP Denmark.
Is it possible to vote for the reopening of the election now and do the election later? Because we know there are some countries who let their votes, but other countries here who want to vote on this procedure.
Can I have emotion cards from the GA whether you would like to vote on this right now or later? So later, red, now green. Later is right after the coffee break, so we break for 15 minutes and we do this equation.
Martinez, this is Croatia. I believe that things like this, for things like this, we should take time, and I believe that it would take more than 15 minutes. And I believe everybody wants to go to have a coffee now, so we look a bit fresh for discussing stuff like this.
EMPSS Cyprus.
EMPSS Cyprus. It's not for the whole motion, it's just for holding the motion. It's just voting for it. Okay. I think we should do the motion. So we can know how many of them are good or how many.
Okay. So, as I could not understand from the motion cards, let's do an informal voting with voting cards. So, the ones that want to stay for the motion to reconsider can guess with announced.
Did you get these amendments? I can assure you it will take a long time to say.
Okay, so all those four remaining here and discussing this procedural motion, please raise your voting cards. All those against? Okay, so thank you. We have 41 against and 7 for on this informal voting. So we will break for coffee and then when we come back, we will have this motion discussed. Yeah. So I need something from you. I saw IPSF Portugal and Capsi Canada. Anyone against this procedural motion to suspend the standing orders? Okay, so James will perform the roll call as the standing orders are now suspended.
Could you please have your voting card at the front of your table? As you can see, our lovely delegates at the front here doing for our group, please. After Argentina, National Australia, I can say that the National Australia, Austria, West Romania, Austria, Captain Canada, Big Australia, Captain Canada, City Circulation, America, City Circulation, City Case, Asia, the Delegates, the Denmark, the Asia, King, South, UK, Finland, Pakistan, Finland, country, Germany, UK, Ghana, Alabama, Qatar, Ghana, Sudan, Central, the United States, Alpha, Lebanon, Pakistan, Malaysia, Pakistan, engage with the Netherlands, and subsistence country, the Netherlands, in New Zealand, and to Germany, Alpha, Portugal, to the